join the amazing duo, Lady K and Lady J, for a program which is geared to enrich you, mind, body, and soul, right here on 246 BeijingVibesRadio.com, 12 till 3 on a Sundays, AM, 7 till 10 p.m., 8 till 11 Eastern Standard Time. Don't you miss it. Feeling lethargic? Feeling lazy? Feeling tired?
Welcome to another enlightening episode of Enrichment of Mind, Body, and Soul. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing? How, Lady J?
I'm wonderful myself. Wonderful, grateful to be here. Grateful to see you all. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. And this evening, we're going to be exploring pathways to holistic wellness and personal transformation. Today, we are diving into a fascinating world of energy healing, unlocking the connections between quantum mechanics, Reiki, vibrations, and frequencies. And throughout history, healers have tapped into unseen forces to restore balance and to enhance vitality and ignite profound personal shifts. This is nothing new. And modern science is now actually catching up and validating what ancient traditions have long understood. Everything in the universe it vibrates. And our energy fields play a critical role in shaping our health and our consciousness. So just sit back, relax as we uncover the science and spirituality behind these powerful modalities, exploring how frequencies and intention can reshape our well-being from inside out. Whether you're a seasoned practitioner or simply curious, this conversation promises fresh insights and transformative possibility. Let's begin. How are you guys doing there? How are you guys doing? This is so exciting.
I'm grateful, thankful. I'm grateful, thankful, and full of gratitude. Anytime I get the opportunity to share and raise the vibration at all times.
Sounds good.
That's what it's about.
Exactly.
Indeed.
And this whole quantum, this is absolutely nothing that is new under the sun.
No.
But it's just that this was put on the back burner for a pretty long time. And now it's coming to the forefront. And a lot of people are really curious about what is quantum, what is Reiki, what is vibration, what is frequency, how can we tap into that, how could we trust our intuition? And we are here this evening to help you understand all of those words. Because Love King Malik is going to really unfold some real good pointers for you this evening. And don't forget, this is a very interactive conversation.
Indeed.
If you have any questions, just feel free to put them in the comments and he's going to answer them for you.
Indeed.
And the thing is that we ought to be open to learning and learning new things, how we can help ourselves. Because many times we limit ourselves because of self-limiting beliefs, and we don't open ourselves to able to expand and to evolve. So this is a good space to be in this evening, and you could understand how the body has the ability to heal itself, but many times we don't give it a chance. So this evening we're going to explore, and we're going to help you to understand more in depth about the words that I explained before. And just sit back, just relax. As I said, just be open, have a notepad, have a pen, take what serves you, you leave what you don't want. Because it's a very free space. And if you know someone who can benefit from this podcast this evening, just share us out. And if this is the first time that you're joining us, a very special welcome. And don't forget to subscribe to Soul Light and Body, that you will never miss none of these informative episodes. Because every week we try to bring a topic that could able to enlighten you and to enrich you. It's all about education. We're here to educate you. And don't forget, always check with your practitioner before you really start anything. Always make sure you do that. We are just here to give you some tools that when you go to your doctor, you can always ask your doctor about these modalities that we're going to give to you this evening. So I'm not going to keep up the floor longer. I'm going to toss the mic now. I want to say welcome to Love Malik. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Because you know what? You are here to really enrich us this evening, and we are so grateful for you being here. And thank you. I am Lady K, holistic health and wellness coach, and a co-author of 2 books with my sister, Lady J. And it's Your Gut and You and Self-Care is Intentional. And also we have 2 magazines. We have the digital and we have the hard copy. Start Healthy. And there's some great stuff in the magazines. And if you're living, so let's say you're living in Australia or you're living in London, whichever other part of the world you're living, you can have the digital copy. We try to make things so good for you, because we think about you. Everything myself and Lady J does, we think about you. We are here to be of service. We think about you all the time, how we can really help you as an individual to evolve and to enhance your life. So now I'm going to toss the mic now to Lady J. Lady J, take the mic, take it away. Thank you.
Great opening as always.
Thank you.
Beautiful energy, beautiful energy.
Yeah, right. Great. And that's what it's about, because the energy and the vibration, and because before I even start anything, what do you come with, when you walk into a room and have your presence be made in that moment, or even on the phone, because the energy is, we're going to learn more tonight, is exchange on a conversation. What happened in that moment? What happened in that space? How do we exchange that? How do you feel after conversation, or you enter in a room, whether it's a speech or whatever? How do you feel after that moment? What are your takeaways? What do you leave with? Because people never forget how you make them feel. And that's what it's about. And so it is so beautiful that we have, thank you for being here, Love King Malik, to share with us tonight how we can really, what is the quantum, the vibration, and all of those good stuff, because we're moving 22, 25 so quickly. And we want to finish strong. We want to have that level of vitality as we move through the months, and so that we can able to achieve our goals, come strong, move with our power, walk in our step in our greatness. How do we do that? So we know tonight you're gonna unpack and expand our toolbox. But before we go further in that level, we just want to say tonight, as we always say here, don't forget to nourish and nurture yourself. Nourish and nurture yourself is super important. Because if you want to show up and live full with all your excellence, it's essential for you to eat quality food, which you're nourishing your body. But what about the other aspect of your life? Your mental, your physical, your spiritual. How are you taking care of those areas? Because to move in this life, it's essential to move with a level of alignment. When all those things are aligned, our physical, our nutrition, our spiritual, good health, great vitality, so we can show and serve with a full cup, then we can move on that level and achieve all those goals that we're going after, those dreams, those aspirations, our heart desires, walking in our purpose. But to achieve all of that, we got to love ourselves. We got to take good care of ourselves so that we can be strong and have that level of vitality. Are you celebrating your wins, big or small? Because you work hard to attain that. Stop, pause. You work through those tears, those no's, those rejection. But finally, you got that win. Celebrate that moment. Stop, pause, and celebrate that. Show yourself a level of gratitude is important. Be grateful for where you are in life. And when you show the level of gratitude, then you can have the level of belief in yourself that you can move forward because you've seen what you have attained. And you can step forward to your next, the level of greatness. Remind yourself who you are. What are your inner dialogue? How do you talk to yourself on a daily basis? Are you reminding yourself that you are special and that you are amazing and that you have that uniqueness, that you are enough? That inner dialogue is so important. Are you leaning into your inner wisdom? Are you leaning into your intuition and knowing who you are? Because you are special, you are amazing. Yes, we're talking to you. You are. And don't forget that. Show yourself a level of grace. Sometimes you work through so many challenges. Show yourself that level of grace. Show yourself the level of compassion. Because you're worth it. You're worth it. And we just want to congratulate all of you who are taking those bold moves. You're pushing past those fears, pushing past all those failures, pushing past all those rejection, and you're saying, no, I have what it takes. I'm leaning into my intuition. I am capable. Because what follows after your I am is super important. And you're saying, I am capable. So we're congratulating you for making those moves, writing those books, starting those podcasts, whatever it may be that in the moment that you're going after, you're taking that step. The first step is essential. You're not looking at the staircase. You're focusing on that first step. You're building small increments at a time because you know you have what it takes. And you're grateful for the people around you who are supporting you, who are saying, yes, go for it. You have what it takes. Go for it. So we just want to celebrate you for who you are. And as we always say, thank you for taking the time to stop by and listen to us this evening. Those who are watching us on the replay or those who are watching us live. We got a great topic for you tonight. And you're going to be learning so much because we're expanding your toolbox, your toolkit. Growth and expansion is happening in this moment. Sit back, relax, find a cozy spot where you can have your journal and you're taking your notes and you can absorb everything that Love King Malik is going to share with us tonight and elevate this space, raising the level of vibration, bringing the frequency up. So just relax, sit back, and enjoy. My name is Lady J, Holistic Health and Wellness Coach. And thank you for purchasing our books, Your Gut and You, because, we talk a lot about nutrition and nourish yourself and focusing on your microbiome, which is very essential so that you can eliminate brain fog and that you can function well. And your self-care, Thank you for making those purchases, because your self care is so super important, so that you can show up fully, have that full cup, and that you can serve, and you can serve well. So thank you. Love King Malik, be so grateful and honor for you to be in this space, sharing with us in this moment. And we know that you're going to just pour a lot on us tonight and the audience as well. So we are so truly honored in this moment. Thank you for being here.
You're very welcome. I'm more honored than words have words for. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious because we raise a vibration heavily when we speak, and we, that is what it is, and it is to be felt. It can be recognized. It will be recognized, but it is felt before everything. And I really appreciate the just the opportunity to be in any space, like I told you, to raise the vibration, because I know as we come together, it's automatic. You know what I mean? It is automatic. So when we agree, you know what it is. We raise the vibration. We are a source. We are the I am, and I am grateful to be here. And just, as a record of, things as in terms of just being, having a clarity of the power of gratitude and love and forgiveness. See, I come with the love thing because it was instilled in me early, and I'm grateful that it was instilled in me, and it seemed as if it was ripped, but it was, kind of strengthened when it was so-called ripped. And it gave me an opportunity to really see things from a broader perspective, from the quantum, from an early age, from experiences that I didn't even realize what were until I was older, and after having children and everything. So it's just a very wide perspective of things, but going back, it's like a very, very, important thing for all of us to recognize this. And I'm speaking to every energy field outside of myself, which is myself in the sense of projection. And I know that anyone who is within the sound of my voice, within the sight and everything, I want to thank you for even listening. I want to give Shinsen unapologetic, unlimited, unconditional love, first and foremost, as I speak, as I share, as I transmit frequency, as I do anything pertaining to the awareness of rising or raising the vibration in any way. And I'm grateful to be here. But as a younger person, I was very fortunate to be told a story that, and which was, my mom had 3 children prior to me that didn't make it, and she struggled with that. One got to like 3.5 months, one was like a miscarriage, and one maybe a month or something, but it was kind of really hard for her. And she said when she ended up getting pregnant with me, she did something different. She said that she had been praying and stuff, but she wasn't really into that at the time because she had moved from Alabama to Detroit, and she just was not into that at that time. She was going through her life, but she said that she had, she found out she was pregnant with me, and she went and prayed. She asked my father to leave the house, and she said she prayed. She got on her hands and her knees in what I understand now as a Sajda position in the Islamic faith. It's like the lowest position or the highest position that you could be in submission to the Creator. And she was explaining to me, she didn't know that's what it was. It was like when she was explaining to me, after years, I found out that's what it was. But she prayed me into this situation, and I feel like, it made me chosen in a way because she made it clear, and all of the things she kind of protected me, but at the same time, it was with a strength and a force of lions and tigers and bears. My mom had no game about her. She was really a source from the source. You know what I'm saying? She was a mother energy for real. And I understood that after years because her mother was mother energy, all of her sisters, and she was the youngest of like 8 siblings, and she was the youngest of 5 girls, and they all had these special things going on when I was younger. Didn't recognize that's really what it was. But early on, I had an incident. I saw my mom doing some stuff. She was doing some stuff, and I started doing some stuff, and I was complaining about I couldn't do it. And she shook me up. She grabbed me, and I'm a 68 baby. So they, mamas put their hands on you and they let you know, hey, that don't work. So she snatched me up, and she's in my face like, look, you can never be in a space where you don't know how to use your mind. You do anything you set your mind to. And she kind of turned the bulb on for me. You know what I'm saying? Like literally at 4 years old. And I never forget that because it's like I'm now, and it's happening at all times now, anytime I'm faced with something, because that has been the echo in my spirit. It has become a part of my, just way of energetic proof that I exist, because I know that I can do anything I set my mind to, because she sparked that flame. But this really confirmed it, because I saw my mom doing some work on a clock radio that was broken. And what happened, the cord had gotten ripped. So I saw her like splice it. I didn't know that was splicing at the time, but I saw her cut the cord, and then she was splicing it, put it together. She put tape on it and everything, and she put it back together, and it worked. And it was just amazing to me. Like, oh man, you literally was able to do that. I'm young, so it appeared big to me. So when she wasn't necessarily paying attention, I'm like, I can do anything I set my mind to. I'm about to fix me something. But I didn't realize that it was like it was. So I cut the cord that was plugged, that it wasn't plugged up. I cut a cord, and I caught myself putting it back together, and I put it back together. But when I plugged it up, I didn't tape it or anything. And I plugged it up, and some kind of way I was in there, and I'm a child. I'm doing stuff sporadically, obviously, but I fall asleep and the cord get wrapped in my arm, and I get electrocuted. My father hears what's going on, and he hears me, he sees me, and he comes in and kicks me loose and breaks me and saves me. And I still got the marks on me from that, when that happened to me. But at that time, something really turned on in me, because I started having imaginary friends of sort. I wasn't necessarily knowing that that's what they were, or even calling them that, but I did tell my mom that I'd be hearing stuff and I'd be seeing, feeling different images around me. And she was like, look, I understand all of that. I'm not telling you don't, but that's kind of like, that's different. So you kind of, don't share that too much. Just talk to me about that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to her, but my mom, she knew what was going on. But I think that because of what she was going through in her life at the time, it wasn't a time for her to really delve in that and with me as a child and attempt to get me to understand, when she maybe didn't have a whole understanding of the things that she was going through, because it was all spiritual, I realized. So, but in the process, I'm growing up, going through all kind of things. My parents stayed together until I was about 7 or 8, and they actually really were a love couple, strong. I came from Motown. My mom's cousin was Eddie Kendrick, so I was really involved with that. I was a very young child, but my parents were involved. All the stuff that was going on, all the loud stuff, all the things that children probably shouldn't have been around, I saw. So it was not, because parents weren't like that. They were like, do what I say, not what I do, and they take you wherever they take you, and you just sit there, or they got a little group for the children. That's how it was, and that's just how it is. But in respect to that, I'm grateful that I got the exposure that I did. But as a result, I grew up seeing things that, however, my parents separated at like 8. By the time I was 13, 14, they divorced, and my mother separated. She moved to Birmingham, Alabama, which was a place that I really didn't feel. In my 3rd grade year, I had to be sent there. And that's when I had the culture shock of religion. I had to be sent there just for 1 year in the 3rd grade, because they were going through some problems. They needed some help. They sent to my grandmother, and they culture shocked the Christianity into me. So it really was something, because I had to learn how to do the Bible thing. I had to learn how to really learn the commandments. I had to do a lot, because as a child, they indoctrinate you very heavily. That's what was going on. And I didn't realize it was, I'm going with what my parents tell, what my grandparents tell me, because I'm happy to be there. Under the circumstances, I really didn't understand, but the energy was crazy. My auntie and uncle, they loved me, my cousins and stuff. I was happy to be around them, but I was noticing different things. I was still having my imaginary friends, and I noticed a bunch of different stuff. And then coming into a household where my uncle is the pastor, and my auntie, which is my mother's sister, one of her older sisters, who was an RN for a big organization out there. She's the mother of the church, and my first cousins, they're like, they're supposed to be ideal citizens. And believe me, I see what they have to go through as preachers' children, or that, because it's a lot of pressure put upon them, because it was upon all of us that were having to do that. But I learned that at 8 years old. So I went back home. When we moved back, my mother, she revisited that, and she really forced my hand at 14, right in high school. You're going to go to church, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Okay, so I'm doing my best, because I'm seeing everybody claiming to have good results from it. And, I'm feeling happy when I'm at the church and they're singing and doing all this stuff. So I'm feeling the energy of that, but it's, it's still different. And because my mother was a songbird when she was younger, my auntie made me sing in the choir. So I was like the lead singer. We used to have to go to choir, choir when they had these, whatever they call them, they call them choir battles in the South. They were like going to these different revivals and stuff like that, but they have the choirs and stuff, singing all together and they see who's the best choir or whatnot. They were doing all of that type of stuff. And there was just a lot of spell casting, a lot of stuff that was being put into me. And I just realized that after the fact, and I looked at it like this was love, just because all the people around us happy. I'm thinking, what is weird things going on? One of the weirdest things, and I don't mean anything negative about anything. And I had to, in order to get to where I am, I had to swallow all of that and realize the whole time I'm seeing all this stuff is from a quantum level. It's from a perspective of it's higher than me, because nobody that's a grown-up can give me the answers that I'm needing, but every answer that I'm getting are the answers that I'm needing. That's from higher perspective. So it kind of put me in a space where I really realized that, okay, I have to think outside of, what's going on and understand this. My mom, she's not really getting it, but I am getting more and more information. My grandmother passed away when I was younger. She confirmed something with me. When my uncle passed away, her brother, great uncle, I asked her, I told Grandma, I don't want you to die. She said, I'm never going to die, baby. That's not going to happen. What happens is I'm going to fall asleep for the last time and I'm going to go to sleep and I'm going to have a big smile on my face. And you're going to know that I just fell asleep. Yeah, you're going to see me go on the ground and all of that. But just know, listen for my voice. I'm not dying. You'll know I'm going to have a smile on my face. My grandmother died several years later with a very big smile on her face. And her presence went right into my energy. And she really put that on me. And I've been hearing her since. And I've had too many experiences since then. And my relatives, they'll pass over, but they'll still be actively with me. I think it's dreaming and stuff like that, but I'll be wide awake. I'll have a lucid dream and they'll pull me into what I realized was the astro and the quantum. I was so unaware of it at the time. That's when I started to tap in, when I realized this is something different. I can't tell everybody, but I'm going through life and being a street dude. I do a lot of stuff and I'm realizing it's the quantum that's saving my whole life, like, because I'm getting the jump on things. It's like I get premonitions on things. It's like I get my intuition jump me ahead of so many things. I show up and be gone right before everything happens that could have changed everything for my life or taken my life. I had a friend who 15 minutes after I left, his cousin called me and said that somebody came in and killed him and his girlfriend in front of their children. And I'm like, it's impossible, because I had just left there. And I know how we were living. We were living really kind of fast. And there was no way, in my perspective, that somebody could have did that and that fast. And I really just left there. I went back and that traumatized me and it put me in a whole different state of quantum, because after that, a couple of years later, throughout some very, very low vibrational experiences, I ended up having to go and spend some time in that's when the level really came back, because several of my relatives came that were, deceased, and confirmed that I have something to do. This is not, it will be no death. And I'm in a space where I have to pay attention to everything going around me. And I'm going to tell you, I was having dreams and things that really, really tricked that really fulfilled the way that I have to look at things from the quantum field. So I came into this perspective. Everything must be from a higher perspective. And when I started studying quantum, it proved it. It made everything a reality, because when you fall asleep, if you fall asleep and ever have a lucid dream, it's like you can control the dream. I've been scared to death in one of my dreams, and I knew I was about to go the transition. And I jumped straight out of that dream and was conscious, awake, and realized, wow, wait a minute. And then it happened to me 3 or 4 more times. And then I started realizing I needed to learn more about how to get in, not to have to jump out because I'm having a traumatic experience, because as I'm doing this and all these different things I'm studying, it's making me have these experiences where I'm going darker and darker and dark. It's like it's pulling all of this stuff out because I'm asking for higher vibration things. I'm asking in the realm of the higher vibration, please give me direction, give me the proof, and I'm getting proof because I'm having to do everything to buy my life. I'll drop down and lose a lot of space, a lot of sleep, a lot of energy. People will die around me, a lot of things, and then they'll show back up. And it's just a whole lot of stuff that has really taken place that is proven to me. So when my family came is what changed my whole perspective and really got me on it, because I was a Muslim for 21 years, never missed Ramadan, 21 years, read the Holy Quran, and I read the Bible right beside it because after the faith of Al-Islam, after the faith of Christianity, I really was just found something. It fit. I studied it for years, had my family there. And on my 40th birthday, after studying Judaism, Hinduism, like Buddhism, I woke up doing a lot of intentions and stuff, learning how to meditate. I woke up literally on my 40th birthday and I couldn't pray. I couldn't bow down and pray no more. It's like I had a strong awakening that I am the source of love. I'm doing a lot of love acts too, because my mom put it on me. She put it on me. And, the biggest part of my experience that raised the vibration was her making a transition about 8 months ago. Like a year and a half before that, she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And this is, I had to change my life. I had to bring her here to Southern California to live with me. And as she was going through the cancer, she got Alzheimer's and dementia. And that ended up, to me, I'm going to just share from my own experience. I don't believe in that anymore. I believe that what is the elders, they tap out of this realm and they tap into a higher realm. Because my mother tapped into all of the ancestors that, my aunties, her father, her sisters, her mother, and she would put me actively in the conversation. She would literally pull me in spiritually because my mother already had a connection to me and I knew she was making a transition. I'm doing a lot of modalities, learning them to share with her to see how high we can get, how comfortable we can make her before she makes a transition. So all these things together, I was revealed a lot of things from my relatives, and they shared higher vibrational things and let me know that, this whole thing is quantum. Everything is different, levels of it, and we're all in multi-dimensions at all times. It's everything is going on simultaneously, every age, every now. It's a past, a future. No, it's now. Everything is going on in its presence. That's the way it has appeared to me, enough to where time has been deleted in this 3D dimension because I can't I can't match it up anymore. Everything I've attempted to do as far as time is concerned, when it came down to saving or getting right with my mom, I wasn't able to do it. I had a fall off. I had to change my life. We were living in this house for 8 years when she came to live with me. Because of all of the energy that had to be shifted, we had to move. But one day to find the house, and we got there, and I was there because we have a big family, it was hard for us to find another house in the time we were in the smaller house. And then I was homeless for a bit. My mom, I'm grateful to have family out here because I was able to put them in a space where it was, safe for them. But we had to do really some stuff, and by the grace of the Creator in me knowing and coming to terms with, okay, I created this, and I had to come to terms with me knowing that I obviously did this to be able to start to learn more about my healing capabilities, because the whole time we're all being healed. I'm doing a lot of stuff. And, this is a disclaimer. When you go doing affirmations and you want a high vibration of things, just be prepared for what come with that, because the source is going to give it to you. You're going to get it. It just, you got to be lined up vibrationally. And what happens is we go through a lot of stuff doing all these affirmations, and we get exactly the ideal that seems to be opposite of that. But no, it's building you up vibrationally to align with it. And once I came to terms with that, I realized it's even more quantum, because once you get in the quantum and you connect to that, you can bypass some of these steps. And that's some of these modalities, because all these modalities end up being the same to me. Hypnotherapy, NLP, Reiki, Rife energy healing, like sound frequency healing. All of this stuff is the only thing other than the Rife, because you can actually, but Rife is the same thing, because remotely I could take fingernails and put them in a machine, because it's your DNA, send frequencies that are healing. And as long as we agree from the spiritual perspective of knowing that the healing is yours and mine, and the energy is source, and I'm not giving you, it's not like I'm the one healing. No, we're agreeing that we know that the power is within the ether. This is our power because we're source. We're one with the I am, and we're just agreeing that, okay, I'm gonna remind you that it's your power too. And as that's what I am. I'm just a conduit. I got all these certificates. I don't claim none of that. What I claim is the fact that I know bringing love to the table based upon my own experience, it trumps everything. I don't care. That's what brings people to me. I notice when I deal with people, they find out I do all this other stuff. I've had people come and want to do a Reiki session. I get talking to them about really the perspective of where they are in the perspective of how they view even what love is, how is this going to help them in the sense of me, doing anything to raise vibration. And what's your definition? And when they realize, it's like we get off of that and we get more into, okay, let's do some past life stuff. Let's do some stuff that goes deeper into finding out why you can't see yourself as the love light that you are, because we got to take time out for ourselves. Get in the mirror. I don't care who you are, male, female, child, especially children. Be happy. Stand in that mirror hollering and screaming in happiness and all that, because these affirmations work. And y'all know they're not so, tarnished like us. So they can really, really get with it. They can really connect to these vibes and take off with it, because the energy for that is very sharing. You know what I'm saying? Very sharing. So I really want to share the idea of this. It's a few things that I really know that we can do. And this is past all of the modalities, just taking responsibility for some things as not even as human beings, but just as the overall. I'm sure everyone, it seems like the people that show up on your cast are higher vibrational or loving. They're really into changing in a sense of raising the vibration holistically, spiritually, all over the vibrational raise. Whatever can be done. I noticed that we talked about a various amount of things that are being done and potentials to be done to raise the vibration. And I can see based upon, platforms that's kind of like what you seem to attract. I know that it is easy for all of us to collectively, once we just agree to do it. It's not the act of doing, it's the agreeing of doing, because we're creators. Everything is easy to create because it's in vibrational escrow. As soon as you think about it, you just have to align to it in this vibration when it's truly an intention of your heart. But when we come together, there's three of us right now. We are magnetized, and I say 100,000 all the time. 100,000. That's what I say to my children, because I know we're at least that many volts, that many, that individually, what I'm saying? Because according to the energy that we possess is unlimited. We can light city blocks based upon the energy within one of us, So I say that, and I'm saying that collectively, just if we want to put a number on it in terms of power and magnetizing. It's three of us, and we're three magnetizing, say 300,000 volts of just love and power that's being anybody that received the transmission, however they receive it. They could feel a giddy feeling. They could feel like, oh, they like your glasses. They could feel like they like your hair. They could feel like they like something in the background, whatever it is that makes them smile. I've learned that it's no limits to you raising the vibration. Because I used to think, okay, I got to hit the mark. I got to do this. No. All you got to do is show up. And if your vibration is good, if you got the right idea of you being the I am, there's no judgment about how you love somebody, how you love yourself, but it has to start with yourself. Like you said in the beginning when you were speaking, it does not matter what I've been able to do or think. I get the energy and the power from me showing love to myself first, because I'm projecting out. Like we spoke, I feel in my own knowing, from me doing all these modalities, me doing the Akashic Records meditation, the halls of a mentee, me literally doing astral projection and doing quantum different techniques and using NLP to trigger and hypnotherapy to trigger different things while I'm in a state, realizing that we're in a conscious state at all times in the quantum when we choose that, because it's a state of intention. Everything to what I've gathered is a state of intention. We're the powerful creator that intends and creates everything that goes on in our experience. You can like it or not. I've had to take responsibility for it. I have 12 children over here, 10 still with me, and they hold me down. They make me responsible because I can't fake. You can't fake in front of 24 eyes or 20 eyes, you know what I'm saying? And then it is what it is based upon energy, because they're more pure than I am. They can see through stuff. So that's what's brought me up even higher in my vibrational perspective, because I see them for the clarity that they came into my experience. No imaginary friends. They showed up in physical form, and they are my children. They showed up earlier to support me, to strengthen me. But like, I had an experience. It was not an epiphany. It was an awakening that my children were my imaginary friends that I thought I had, and that was one of the biggest awakening, because it really, and it was right around the time that I, turned 42. So it's like really awakening for me to get them out of the train of, like a ritual thing, in the sense of you're required to, other than the sense of knowing that if you do, you're responsible for. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what you do, you're responsible for it. When you're creating these things, all these things that you praying, if you're praying, because people pray mad prayers, people pray, sad prayers, people pray, okay, whatever way you put it in is the way it's coming out. You know what I'm saying? So it's sad to learn just to raise the field of quantum, and it really is us holding our space. We are in space. This is no more time, it's space. We are the deciding factor as to how this space is held and how we share it. You know what I'm saying? Hold your space high in regards, and do as much as you can to raise the vibration in your space as you hold it. So when you share it, it can only press, positive and loving energy. It can only do that. So that's what I know. My children prove it. Those are my receipts. I don't have to say much when they show up, especially first, because it's been several times that I've moved into a different neighborhood. I'm working, doing something. So I'm not necessarily at the house during daytime. I'm maybe leaving early and coming back late. But one day on the weekend, the neighbors or somebody in the neighborhood is very close. One dude came up to the vehicle kind of aggressive, and I thought something was wrong. He said, "Hey, man, I got to talk. I want to speak to you. Did you live right here?" And I'm looking at him. I'm new in the neighborhood. I'm attempting to say, "Yeah, I'm new over here." And I said, "What's the issue?" He said, "No, it's not an issue, man. Those your children? You got all those children. You got a bunch of children, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I have a pretty big family," because I'm breaking it down. So I'm not thinking I don't want to trigger no offense, because I'm feeling like, bro, you know, what's up? You know what I'm saying? And this was it was not a melanated person. It was another culture, but he was like, after he did all that, he was like, bro, I want to tell you, man, you are doing a wonderful job, man. I'm so impressed. Your children, dude. I was taught by my granddad that if your children, you could tell a person's parents, you tell a parent by the child. You know what I'm saying? And he was a very respected person in the neighborhood. So that assisted me in the neighborhood, because that, my children are very respectful. They were born in Georgia. All 10 of them were born in Georgia. 2 of them were, in the Southern California area, but they all were raised with good values. They were all raised with a spiritual context of knowing that they have a higher source to be responsible at the time too, but now it's for. You know what I'm saying? They have to be responsible for what we all know now. As I, share with them the truth of my raising consciousness was me coming into consciousness with me as creation, not with me as what I'm labeled as a black man, which I don't use that, melanated man, not me as a, like a cousin to somebody, not me as my son to my mom or my dad, not me as my father, as the father to my children or the husband to my wife, not me as none of that, but me as creation, because it takes away all judgment. You know what I'm saying? Because I judge myself as a man, like against myself when I felt like I wasn't able to, get something done. And I know I put myself to the test to do it. And, nobody maybe say nothing to me, but I know I didn't do it, but it made me feel some kind of way. And there was time attached to that. So it was all still a part of that. So the same thing with anything else that time has been attached. I take away the anxiety with leaving time out of it. You know what I'm saying? And now I just take responsibility. When I take responsibility, I get the result ahead of time. It's like I know the answer when I take responsibility. I don't have to think about what to do, because I've already taken responsibility for the knowing that already I am all that I am. And I know that all is well, because I came to this with the knowing that I won't be judged. You know what I'm saying? And don't judge myself. So now that I know that every time I project it's me, and I'm judging me, anyone I see if it's my dog acting up, if it's my child acting up, if it's the people in traffic, it's just me in that vehicle acting up for me to go ahead and calm that part of me down, because I'm knowing the balance is for me to see everywhere, because I project out. I know this to be facts. I can delete stuff out of my movie, out of my experience, because I've done it. Once I decide I'm not with the crap no more, with the whatever it is, it goes away with the swiftness. The universe gives me different situations and confirmations that off with the head of it. It never comes back. Once there's certain feelings, you know, when you're just tired of being tired and you're fed up with being tired, you know, that part. So I have done that, and I've had to do that with raising the children from an aspect of learning how they are not the same. 8 boys, 4 girls, same spouse, not the same, no twins. If it was twins, I'm grateful. They'd probably be even more different than each other. You know what I'm saying? Because most of mine are 10 months apart in a perspective until like a year later, you know, like a couple of, but it's interesting how all of that plays a part, because they speak to me, they deal with me and have dealt with me from a quantum. It's confirmed, because I'm gonna tell you, because they came as my imaginary friends and I've confirmed it. Now when they deal with me, and they have dealt with me, I've seen experiences where they in their physical form, being little people, 3 and 4 years old, where they do something, and it's a higher vibe, it's an older soul, it's something teaching me, and I'm hey, I'm over here learning every day. My 11-year-old is one of the brightest stars I've ever come in contact with. I'm so grateful that he graced this planet and trusted me to be a co-operative component for his experience, because I'm telling you, when I learned that, when I got in the mirror and got in control of me, my relationships are A1. People who love me, they love me. People who hate me, they hate me because they can't love me as much as I love them. That's what I must realize. That's what I realize. It's about that love. It can't be, you can't hate me for real. For what? What's the purpose? You got to be looking at me from the perspective of, you know, so much love is in me, and you know this is you. Because you looking at me, it's you. It's not me. Like I'm looking at you, it's me. You know what I'm saying? I did give you all the illustration about, excuse me, us being 5 or 10, 6 feet away and seeing each other, and then us getting 3 feet away, seeing each other. When we get eye to eye, we no longer see each other. I see myself and you see yourself. That's the proof of the creation and the oneness of the whole thing, because the reflection of self, I mean, the mirror is what is the source. I mean, that's everything outside of me that is me. So I can't, and even I see it in the flowers, I see it in the grass, I see it in the seasons. Nothing is wrong. Everything is quantumly connected and it's divinely protected. It's all in its space. It's all where it's supposed to be. It's nothing we have to do but be in alignment. Go ahead and accept the balance. Enjoy the fact that the weather changes. And all you got to do is, you know, when it rains, it's literally umbrellas. You know what I'm saying? Well, I like to be in the rain now because I realize the importance of being in the rain. Like, really, like it's important just being in the element, since we are the element. There's no need to be afraid of what is at this point. And I'm even more grateful that I have I have a bunch of old souls in young avatar, you know, frames that are here to assist me as I get more expanded in my, you know, born days and my solar returns and everything. So I'm more than grateful. I'm here in the way of, like, I just can't even explain it. I just allow it to flow when I get the opportunity, because love let it go. You can't make it up. You can't necessarily rehearse it. You know, when people ask me, you know, I can answer questions to that because it is what it is, but just given the opportunity to explain, I say, when you get in touch with yourself, when you come responsibility, okay, you're in that mirror, you know that it's you. You know, first of all, that you are this, what you see in the mirror, and then you take responsibility for you and what you see in the mirror as creation, everything, and your feminine side, your masculine side, your fearful side, your aggressive side, all your side, but more your dark side. You know what I'm saying? Because the darkness is where, for me, everything seemed to have elevated and gotten me to a space where my children recognize, you know, me as connected to source, them being the source connected to source, us being one in this thing and really becoming collective. And I can't ask for more. The friends that I have are my love family. That's the tribe. They just happen to be here in my family, in my house first, and then wherever I connect to, it's a vibration, it's a no. And that's quantum. It's all quantum. And I say that very, very respectfully to people who like, man, I can't think outside. It's not quantum. But truly, when you start daydreaming and you start having these different dreams and stuff, and you realize that you can't, you can't necessarily put it together in this perspective, like especially if you dream and you come out of it and you get so many parts of it that make you feel even a certain way, but you can't necessarily remember this part or that part, but you still had a feeling. You know what I'm saying? Where did that come from? What field could that be from? You know what I'm saying? It sure as hell is not from this one, because if it were, you'll be able to channel it back right fast. It's quantum, it's astro, it's the field in which we are always conscious. It's the field in which we're always awake. Because when you practice enough, you go back to your waking state, you can literally go back into the same place that you left. It could be the movie left off like here. Some people that I know that are very high vibrational, they don't necessarily even want you to know even they exist, because they don't care that you could think that they don't do what they do, because they are very well in their position of, you go around them and you high vibrational, if you low vibrational, you're going to know something, but you high vibrational, it's going to automatically raise for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. So I'm very, very, very grateful to have, these ancestors to show up with me and trust me. Like my oldest one, that the daughter right there, she's like, that empress right there has raised the bar. She took the energy straight from my mother, because from the time my mother got sick and had to go to the hospital before she was put on hospice, that young woman would not leave her side. And that's when she was activated. She's been activated since she's been turned on since she's been a child. But she truly got activated when she spent all of that time and energy with my mom, because you talking about somebody being I'm getting, it's like, Mom, thank you. I feel my mom give me this every time she give me the confirmation. She was telling me, baby, I sent her. You know what I'm saying? And I guess that's what I feel like. Mom, it was a very deep connection with them and how this thing moved. And she really, really touched my heart, how she did with my mom. But I know how my mom felt about her and how she was moving through. And she just like transferred the energy straight through to her. And I see like the versions of my mom in my daughters, and my empress in my daughters. Like it's a combination, and my empress and my mom were pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just fortunate to have the energy, and I realize that it doesn't matter. I've always had opposition, so I'm more dangerous with the opposition than I am with anything else, because I put so many protection plans up for opposition. I stay away from it so I can protect those who oppose me, like with that negative stuff, because I know what I put in place, I can't be responsible for you. I'm good. I've already prayed it up, and how it works out from there, I've already accepted my responsibility, because I'm not looking for anyone to harm anyone, to put any negative or low vibrational energy on. The more I don't look, the more I have to make sure that I'm protected from those who think it's a game. Like it's not a game to be loving and spiritual, because loving and knowing what love is, because that's when you get tried. That's when you get to see if you really know what love is. You can really be compassionate to somebody who really has a false pretense of weakness or something of that nature. You know what I'm saying? You have to turn inside, and quantum is the only place that I have gone. You know what I'm saying? Being able to go. You know what I'm saying? Being able to go, excuse me, in that sense. So I'm just grateful to know. And we, as spirit beings, as the I am, and doing all these modalities, I say, like, I practiced this for a while, for like years. And then it just became natural to me. And that's why I kind of skipped through, like, attempting to tell somebody they have to train and train. It's how you have to really be responsible for yourself. I did a lot of, I did a lot of training, a lot of, praying, and a lot of meditating, learning different modalities, learning a lot of different techniques of how to do NLP, the different techniques of meditations and things of that nature. And what I came to is, like, it just seemed to me that had I come to more agreement that I'm responsible for knowing that I am truly grateful, I am truly the one who's responsible for love and forgiving, I am truly that. When I did that is when it all came clear. So that's why I kind of go from the perspective of, let's be more responsible for ourselves. Start loving yourself, you'll automatically start receiving the intuition from the quantum field, because anytime your intuition talks to you, it's from the quantum field. That's my perspective. People say it's God consciousness. That's from the quantum field in my perspective as well. It's just all the higher vibration of things is different from this quantum, different from this field, and we're in multiple, but we're still being, driven in all of them. So from that perspective, that's kind of like a low version of, it's just focus on you, loving yourself, as you said, coming to terms with you are responsible for every feeling you have, everything that you create that's good, everything that you experience that's so-called bad, everything that you experience, you come to terms with that, and then everything becomes enlightening. The universe works out for you. You show love, it's like the universe gives you back what you put out. The more love I show, the more I get, even from people who, a lot of people oppose, well, you say this, you say that, but it's a lot you have to say to get people to get that love is an expression of just listening and paying attention and feeling the energy of. Sometimes it's not for you. Sometimes you're not in the perspective of feeling that love. You might look at it as something different. And I always say in a perspective like that, it's like, take it and do what you can with it. If it does nothing, share it. If you don't want to share it, give it to the ether. It's in the ether already. And I know the power in the tongue. I know the power in the perspective of knowing. Whether or not anybody outside of you has these ideologies of whatever, when you go through it yourself, it's your knowing. I respect others who go through their own thing, because it's some things I haven't gone through. So it won't be my knowing that I haven't gone. It won't. So I respect that. And I love the fact that we can all be in a place of respect and love for one another, to know, because I feed off of knowing that there's other ways to solve and resolve things. You know what I'm saying? By knowing other people did it this way. Other people look at it whole like this. I've been learning my Vedic astrology here lately and realizing that it's more power to even tap into, just in general, knowing that you are the source that had something to do with creating all of this, because you're responsible for you as creation and you're a part of all of it. I'm grateful to tap into the part that makes me feel like my vibration is being raised. And when I'm speaking to whoever's supposed to hear it, they feel it. Whoever's not, everybody's going to object. Everybody's sitting in the corner waiting to see, okay, let me see what he's saying that I don't like. I don't even care, man. Those people won't say nothing to you in person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they won't say nothing. They keyboard, killers. We're not going to do nothing. So I respect all of that. It's all love. It's all love. It's all love. But
Jennifer from IG was asking you a question.
Oh, what was it?
She said, how you managed to stay grounded while experiencing all of the quantum leaps.
That's a good question.
How do I, okay, so this may sound repetitive, but okay, so when I decided to really take responsibility for me, like as creation, because I did throughout life, I realized this, I would raise my vibration, I would do something better, I would get to thresholds to where I know I did something, I know I grew, and I would see some kind of progress that would make me know, okay, the creator's, giving me fortunate confirmations that I know that I'm moving forward. It's like when I really came to terms with, I'm responsible for doing that. Yep, I did. I'm responsible for doing that. Yep, I did. And then I realized something happened. I wasn't necessarily attempting to be responsible for that, because it didn't get me progress, and it was because others were involved as well. But at the same time, when it came around, I realized I am responsible, because I wouldn't have put them in it if I would have been really, balanced as I should have been. And it's always my responsibility. And then it went back to projection. And then I started taking responsibility. So the biggest deal is take responsibility for you as creation as fast as you can, because the minute you do, it's like you really get a upcharge in your energy. It's not, I don't know, it seems scientific, because a lot of people say different things about how they do it, and it's still the same result. You know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful to see that other people can get the same result from doing something different. You know what I'm saying? Because it's truly amazing that we got all these different opportunities, and you still have people who want to doubt different opportunities. You can create one. As a creator, you can create your own and follow it and see that it works. I started doing just basic intentions because I was challenged by my coach. And he said, dude, all you got to do is do intentions. Try it. Just anywhere you go, when you get a phone call, somebody's that you know you don't get along with, or that you always have in your life, do an intention before you get on the phone with them and watch how you curve them, and they can't even they can't bring that same energy. I started doing it, and I started showing up on conversations, and I realized I started using it as an opportunity for me to throw in a love jab in there or a joke or something, because it was some crap in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? So and my mom really continues to give me that now that she's made a transition. She gives me more nudges to be like, just say something. Just say it. It don't matter what it sounds like to nobody else. Say it, because somebody's supposed to hear it. When you say it, the person who's supposed to hear it is going to be the one to hear it. It might be a crowd. It might be 30,000 people in the crowd, and one person's supposed to hear it. When that one person hear it, your job is done. You know, I'm good. I'm good, and I'm grateful. You know what I'm saying? So I just keep moving like that. And that, what I say is, just keep on recognizing you as creation. All the things that happen, look at it, analyze it, see why it's happening for you, because it's not happening to you. See why it's happening for you. What did you ask for? What are you thriving for? What is your objection for real? Is this something that can help you get to that part? If you go ahead and look at it like that, if you go ahead and leave it alone as an issue or a challenge or some kind of opposition, if you go ahead and get past that, is it something that you know will help you? Okay, well, take that and run with that part, because it's up to you. You get the decisions that you make, or you get the decisions that you allow the universe to make based upon your imbalance. You know what I'm saying? Based upon where you are vibrationally, because you get not what you want, but what you are. And we want a lot of things. We're showing up in a different space.
Yes. You know, you have really outlined. Yeah. You have really outlined to the audience and to us as well, you know, how we can really shift ourselves into a different space. You know, many times people they hear these words Reiki, vibration, frequency, and people becomes very scared of that space, you know, because they have never experienced it. So when you never experience something, you become pretty scared of shifting your mindset into these type of spaces. You know, my question to you now, if someone is skeptical about energy healing, what is one experiment they can try to experience it firsthand?
Trust themselves first.
True.
Just trust yourself, and when you trust yourself and have a thought of being well, you are well. But you have to trust yourself. And you trust yourself, you can come to know that this is the fact. All you got to do is watch, go through something. Go through something for real. And I know people go through stuff, but they don't look at what they go through as a thing that really is supposed to, because they're looking at the part that is normally by default supposed to be the sad part, not looking at the part that is really the reason it's happening at the time. Because people transition all the time, but it's very unique when they transition. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, it's very unique when people transition, especially when you're on a spiritual quest and that person is a part of it. You know what I'm saying? And that right there shook the foundation for me and made it more solid when I realized that nobody's shifting for the fact of leaving. They're shifting for the fact of giving you power to really raise the vibration, but you have to get it through the mix of assisting them to get back to the part. And that's something that some of us is passed down just through, I guess, the DNA and the process of whatever we saw. They take a lot of things out. They take a lot of things out of our culture, out of our access to be able for us to forget. But these are things that are natural to those of us who tap in. When you tap in, you just automatically come I got to take care of this. I got to take care of that. And it's not even something you even thought about before. But when you're chosen, sometimes it's better when you don't know anything and then you get chosen and get a shell shock and you have to step into it. Some of us require that. I'm an Aries, and I've been, according to the chart, I'm very aggressive. According to my experience, I'm very aggressive, and I've been having to do everything that I can to channel that part to be in a space of love, the aggression for love, not the aggression for responding where I, like on the other side of it wouldn't seem like love, but it has always been love now that I understand, because it's like I just have not been able to tolerate low vibrational energy. And most of the things I respond to is something that's really, low vibrational. It is what it is. And I've had to accept that. When I didn't accept it is when I'm continuously having issues with it. But I go ahead and let it fly over, like my meditations. I learned you stop in meditation. You know how they teach you to close your mind, quiet your mind and everything? I learned, that quiet your mind to the best of your ability. But when something comes through, it's supposed to come through. Meditating is getting it to go and flow and allow it to be, so that you can channel it to be at peace with it. At whatever you do, when it goes to the other side and it gets out, then the universe can give you a result to it. It may be right there. It might be the fact that you just went ahead and finally let it go through and saw the outcome however you saw it. You know what I'm saying? Because I really realized once it go through, I'm like looking at stuff like, okay, I'm the creator. I'm going to make it turn out like I want. Because it's all meant to be like it is. And it doesn't matter who's involved, because the energy is really ours. We're projecting out everything. My children, it works very well for me. This is how I really started utilizing it outside my home, because I had to do it with my children first, because they are very much important to me, like everybody's children should be. But when your children are extra, when they're a bunch of extras, a bunch of them and they're extra, it's like you have to really turn up your channels. And I realize what I got over here is really something special. It's like I've been put in a space of such a high regard with the ancestors and the ancients and everything, to even know to digress my aggression towards me thinking that I'm running some shit, because I'm not running anything. What I'm doing is allowing the universe, allowing the creator to utilize me as this vessel to create as much love on this planet as I possibly can. I'm co-creating it with them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I have come to terms with. And I'm all the way live with that. They know I put them out front with it in a minute, because I know that once it's recognized that they are what it is, it just goes up the chain and all the way through our bloodline, all the way through the ancestors. They're shining light on when we do have to transition. They're giving us the special reward to come back into the space, and the power to connect and stay connected to where that's channeling. It's constantly connected. It's nothing being cut off as a result of we fell out. They did this. They became addicted, and they lost contact. All this different stuff. So we just keeping the foundation is knowing that we're creating it. We're responsible for it. So we know that we're responsible for it. Take responsibility. We agree, and agreement is infinite until you decide to separate the, agreement of the connection. This mastermind is infinite. This mastermind was before the fact. That's the reason why it's infinite. And we get to prove it. Like we said, isn't it so special we get to reconvene in this quantum, in this time perspective, this time, space, and knowing, so that we can be an impact, because we obviously been doing it through the spectrum. This is not the first time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm grateful that, like I said, I'm grateful for any opportunity that I have to just share love, because love is love. Love is love.
Love is love.
Yeah, exactly.
Love is love. But then loving yourself is important, because then love has to come from you. You got to love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can share that love, and then you can able to receive that authentic love when it come through you, when it's been transmitted to you. I mean, this is such a beautiful conversation, and it's beautiful that you talk about your mom, and we celebrate. Sorry of the loss of your mom, but I know she transitioned and she's empowering you and your family too as well, because you share the story with your daughters and stuff like that. But the thing is that you said something that when our loved ones has been transitioned, it just helped us who's left behind to be more powerful, because things get amplified more, because their love that even there has transitioned is empowering us to do more, to reach higher vibration, higher on such a higher level. And that is so true, because we lost our mom, and we were there before our mom passed, in her transition, right there in the space and we felt that power. We're at peace, even though she has transitioned, but we are moving forward and just raising that vibration and keeping that level alive. So we can totally resonate, and I'm sure the audience and others can resonate exactly what you're talking about.
Thank you. Her shine is on you all. Her shine is on you. It carries on. I feel her so present because I was telling you, mine is like I get upper and lower gut feelings for higher and lower vibrational things that I'm dealing with, and then I
Yes.
get chills and goosebumps for
Yes.
Yes.
certain
Yes.
environments and things. It's very, very. I'm very attentive of it now, and I'm so grateful that I have a confirmation from my mom that she gave me when she was here physically. I used to lay on her chest when she would be on the phone, and the vibration from her voice used to just go through my whole body. It was like the best thing that I ever felt. And I used to do that even when she was like older and stuff because I just love my mom. And I thought she'd be talking to me and I'd be laying because it's so therapeutic for me. Even when I had children, my children even started doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it was just one of those things that kind of passed down through. But when she made a transition, she had me really, she confirmed to me before she even left the physical body when she went into sleep coma for 4 days, cleaning karmic debt. She came to me and confirmed to me that is no death and to confirm that my work is real. Don't play games. Do not play games. I have responsibilities. And just like she had always told me, to get busy, do what I'm supposed to do. You know what you're supposed to do. And I came into my knowing. I do know. I know that all is well because I've been chosen to do what it is. And what it is to share, be, promote just as unconditional, unapologetic, wavering love, power, forgiveness, and gratitude as possible in every situation. Because I know I used to be the turn up king. The minute you come to me with something, because I had to defend myself all the time, I'm the one going to jump first when you talk about it because I know that I'm the underdog. 9 times out of 10, it's more of you than me. Even if it's not right then, you might have brothers, sisters, or whatever. I don't have anyone that's going to get my back. So I was taught that early. So I'm very grateful that I even survived with my sometimes aggressive attitude when I was younger. But it was for good reason because this was for this whole thing. And I don't take, I take responsibility for everything. I'm not necessarily, I don't promote anything that I used to do for anyone, but I say that anyone that has, forgive yourself because it's not like it's not a big deal. It's now, right now. If you want to take it, then you can take it. But do you do that now? Is that how you see yourself now? Even if you had a back of it, clean that up. It's not like, yeah, we can clean this up. We can clean it up. Everybody can clean it up. Just take responsibility. Look at you and take responsibility for you. Love, put light on you, put healing on you by knowing that you are the source that sent yourself here for the experience. You gave yourself the opportunity. Just see what I'm going to do with this avatar. See what I'm going to do with that one. Like, how does it feel when I transmit and give each one of them the connection of knowing that, hey, I'm going to send several of them with families, numbers exactly on how it goes when you identify. And they're going to identify each other. They're going to recognize each other. And it's not necessarily going to be the same shades. They're not going to be from the same regions. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be light that you see and you feel when you come across it. And it's going to be transmuted through internet when you're not on the internet. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. This ether is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. So I'm grateful that we can utilize it. And as long as we continue to manifest that, like really in our knowing, just we agree to it. I know, the most of things I hear you guys speak about and all the casts that I've been watching, and it's just been a wave of connection, raising the vibration and agreeing. That is what masterminds, that's what increases power in masterminds.
Mm-hmm.
You guys masterminds every time you show up. You all have created the biggest one that attracts more, and you're just creating more and more power to it. And I'm grateful to be a part of it. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Me be a part of it.
That's amazing you said that. And just to piggyback a little bit where you spoke in a moment, is that you're talking to people and you're getting into their subconscious and you're letting them know, okay, yes, you might have messed up before and you've done things, but this in this moment and in this time, you can rewrite that narrative.
Mhm.
You can rewrite that narrative, you can forgive yourself, and
Mhm.
you have the choice to choose in this moment to move forward and raise that level of vibration, live from a different space and walk in your purpose, that you can create more value for yourself and for the world. Is that right?
Indeed, and it activates when you decide. It really activates the universe to give you signs, and all synchronicities and everything that you'll know that you're in the right space. It really shows up. It really, and it's the oddest thing. I just say be more conscious and aware to pay attention to detail. The things that seem like
True.
opposition
True.
are showing up for you to recognize as a
Yes,
as a
yes.
pedestal, as a stepping stone. That they're there to give you an awareness that you can move forward in a much faster way by recognizing these are the steps to get. It's like you get an oppositional opportunity for opposition.
Just
You
amazing.
pass that test, and then something amazing happens. You don't pass that test, another thing for opposition gives you another test, and you have to realize, oh
Right.
man, if I would have did this, then you have to go through.
True.
Yes,
But it's
yes,
enough to do it
yes,
one time, so let's go.
yes.
And really, I like how you spoke, and I know Lady Kay would agree with this too, that when you spoke about the conversation and how intentionally you choose to go into a conversation with someone on the opposite side, that it might have been a little challenge in that conversation, but you chose in the moment, I'm going to approach this conversation in a different level, and the results were so different. Can you go a little bit deeper? Because for sometimes the people who might have hard conversation and might be challenging conversation, but talk to them about the approach and how they approach that conversation on an intentional level, how they can get a better results if the results weren't so satisfactory before. Talk a little bit about that.
Great
Okay.
question, Lady J.
Yeah, very good question. And I
Thank
have a
you.
from my perspective, from the field of my own knowing, what I can say from personal experience. It's like, okay, so we have the opportunity to be, grateful when at any time. Like, and the key element that I've learned in a time when you need to trick something is to be grateful for it,
Mm,
especially the things that the average person would not be
Yes,
grateful for.
yeah,
You know what
yes,
I'm saying? At that time is when you can pull out the energy or even the imagination of the idea of being grateful for a situation. It kind of pauses you to a state in my energy field. It is pausing me to give me the opportunity to really channel, like, okay, well, why is this? I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. So that gives me, okay, so why is this happening? Because I know it's, and if I can't see it right then, I say, well, this is how it's going to turn out for me. Because once you realize gratitude, you can kind of calm down and think of what
true,
it could
true.
be. And if it's because we're the creators, imagine something how you want it to turn out. I picked 3 ways. This is one of the techniques that I use that I'll share. I picked 3 ways, and it's very simple to do because every answer is in you. If it's something you're going through, it's if
yes,
it's simple or complex,
yes,
it's in you if you're going through it.
yes,
So just be quick about thinking about what you want to happen. You know,
Right,
you don't want the low
yes,
vibrational, but if you don't start to think
yes,
about something high
yes,
vibrational, the ether starts to take over the part that you're
true,
connected.
true, true.
yes,
So I picked 3 things, and I know in that my subconscious is picking them all up, even if my conscious forgets. So I won't forget out of those 3 things, especially. And then what happens, what seems to happen is I realize right there at that moment, it's like I can let it go and go ahead and start to deal with it. And it'll make sense to me exactly why it's happening, how I can benefit from it. And this is a try you trick, like try it. I'm not, it proved it to me. I proved it to myself because I'm into 369. I'm into recognizing how the universe is really conspiring together and really balancing when you are balanced, and how it really will work for you when you decide. And it's an innate knowing that you
yes,
have to know, and that knowing is the I am. That's what, when I hear people say, I am. It's because they have awakened to the Christ consciousness of the I am, that is the creator, that is the explanation, and that is the do all, that say all, do all, create all. And because it's happening in vibrational escrow, it's showing up in one of these quantums. Just imagine that. Imagine that being conscious in the quantum field, that when you think of these things that you really, really want, that you know you don't have access to now because you have not deserved them vibrationally, but you thinking about them and you throw them over there. But that over there in that quantum, you getting them all. And you're there when you're conscious, you getting them all. Because think about the things that when you've been in flow here in this conscious field. And how does that feel? Feel like you get, man, back to back to back to back things be going good. Right. Because you're in that quantum and you're in that flow. And we jump from quantum to quantum. When we take that and realize that I see myself over there, now let me go ahead and connect to it. And you know you over there because if you saw yourself, you over there. And if you see yourself over there broke down, flat tires, and you know what? You over there too. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, that's what's amazing to me, because I was talking to two people at once that had near-death experiences. We just happened to be on the call together. And it was revealed to me, just like it was revealed to them, that you see things from the broadest perspective ever. You see things from down. It's like a maze. You see everything happening at the same time, and it's you in all the mazes. You know what I'm saying? And then you see how you get response to it. And then when you're having to do this judgment thing, this was very interesting to me, because I feel like this in this quantum, on this earth plane, right? Okay, it was said to me that the creator doesn't judge. When they came back, they had a life review, and it showed them all the things they did good, like all the things, and it was good. Like they was happy, like it was like, wow, I did some stuff. They helped people, they do whatever they did good. And the whole time it was no judgment. It was just like showing you no accolades, not you being special. It was you doing good things, and the feelings that was coming from the others as a result of you doing it. And that's what the life view was. And then they said that they had the opportunity to see through the eyes of source. They were looking through the eyes of source at that time. Then they got to see through the eyes of themselves, but through the bigger eyes as source, through themselves, because you would be able to identify whatever you see as a feeling. And they got to feel all the feelings that they put upon everyone, and it's all at the same time. Wow. So if you cross somebody, if you did somebody wrong, you cheated on somebody, you murdered somebody, you did whatever that was in violation to common law in the sense of the creation law, then you were feeling that. And that was what, like if hell is anything, that would be it. And that's where, a lot of them get the opportunity to decide, okay, after knowing that, no true person having, or true entity having that experience, to me, will say, well, hell with it, I'll just go and keep going. Now, let me go back and straighten this out. If I get out, let me go straighten it out. You telling me I can go straight, but I know where I'm at now. I know I'm in between this dead life. Let me clean this up, because you don't get to see what's going to happen after that. It's just, you got the feeling of it. Because most of the people that said this to me, now these was two people I was talking to, but I saw so many different entities say this similar stuff like that when I'm watching these different programs. They say similar, but I was talking to these two, and it just came to me like, we really are, dying and, living, or so-called transitioning through quantums, because we're walking in and out of them, not even consciously, because the minute you change your perspective and get positive, all the negative people go away. You tell me that's not a different quantum. you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You feel me? That's I can prove that just by my own showing up in spaces. You know what I'm saying? And especially as I've risen my vibration, same places. True. Same exact physical places, but believe me, the entities don't exist there anymore when you show up with the type of energy that is,
because you don't match anymore.
Yes,
Indeed.
Exactly. I'm just listening to you, and I just experienced something 3 days ago, right? Mm-hmm. I was at an airport, right? And as I exit, I was standing there to get an Uber. And I'm trying to get an Uber on the phone, and I'm not getting an Uber. I'm trying Lyft, and I'm not getting. Mm. And one of these gentlemen who normally push people around in the airport mysteriously just walked up to me, right? And he said to me, he said that, what are you waiting here for? I said, I'm waiting to get an Uber. He said, you're on the wrong floor. He said, hop on here on this seat, and I'm going to take you to the 3rd floor where you're going to get an Uber, right? So I hop onto the seat. He got my baggages. I put my pocketbook on my lap, and he pushed me into the elevator with my suitcase and everything and took me down to the 3rd floor, right? As I got down to the 3rd floor, he pushed me out. He said, you're going to stay at this spot. He said, don't get off this seat. Be comfortable. And you're going to get on your phone and you're going to get an Uber. So I sit in the seat. He left. He just disappeared. But I said to him before he disappeared, I said to him, let me give you something. And he said to me, I don't need anything from you. I was sent to do this. I don't need anything from you. Right? But I said, I still want to bless you with something. So I get into my pocketbook and I blessed him with something. And he walked away. He just walked away, right? So I sat on the chair and as I'm saying to myself, I said to the universe, I said, you've got to send me an Uber. Before I could finish that sentence, a car pulled up in front of me. When the car pulled up in front of me, the man said to me, he said, are you waiting on a taxi or an Uber? I said, yes. He said, I don't think no Uber or Lyft is going to come here because the drive is a very long drive to go where I was going, right? And he said, but I can take you there. I said, can I see your ID? And he showed me his ID. And he said, you know what? I'm going to take you there. And right away, I trust my gut instinct because remember, I just asked the universe to send an Uber for me because I didn't want to remain there alone at that airport because everybody's jumping in cars and they're getting out of there, right? So I asked the universe, like, you've got to send me an Uber. And this man just spoke mysteriously and he dropped me to spot. We had a great conversation in the car because we are on the same frequency.
Yeah, and you activated him.
Amazing how these things happen.
Powerful when that happens.
Yeah, you activated
very
him.
powerful.
Yeah, you activated him to show too, just by the action of what you did right before that. Just enforcing, because a lot of people don't realize that wealth is taking everything that's offered to you, even if you can't use it. If someone is saying, hey, let me give you this, because they're getting a fortunate rise in vibration just giving it to you, and you are getting it for receiving it. If it's something that you don't want, give it to someone else.
Pass it on.
Yeah, pass it on because it's useful for everyone. But that's how that's what I've learned in the universe, to continue to raise as long as we're willing to accept. Because we really, some people, all they have is whatever they are offering you to give you for whatever thing you did. Don't turn them down, because that's like, and some people feel like, man, I just, all I wanted to do is give. And that's a really interesting feeling too, when you want to do for somebody and they tell you no. And
it's right, exactly.
Yeah, especially when you got that empathetic heart, you really intend to do that. And you might have planned to do it. You like already said. So I've gotten to the point, just in what I've learned in that Islamic faith, is the more you do without telling, the more fortunate things can be in space for you. So, and not even doing it for the purpose of, but yeah, it's better because a lot of people don't want the pride. They don't want to think that I have to get this or whatever. Just stick it somewhere. Put it on. Do something that you know you can do without them ever knowing, but you know they'll know this. What? How did that happen?
Right.
You know, and then let the universe work it out. Like, and you know, I realize that that's the best we can do, because a lot of times we're not going to be able to physically step up, but we can spiritually step up, like you did. You spiritually spoke to him. He showed up to get you down to the floor. And you would not allow him not to do. So you activated. The universe works immediately when you decide.
It does.
Exactly.
In so many different ways. In so many different ways that you could never, ever imagine, or you wouldn't have imagined, but you get confirmation as soon as they pop up. You're like, wow, did you see? What a can't even say it's a coincidence when certain things happen. You know, things happen too on point. It's no way for it to be a coincidence. It was meant
to be. Yeah.
But also you have to be living, you have to be vibing at that level.
Yes,
True.
no,
Your vibration has got to
that's that
be on that
question.
level.
That's that responsibility for your selfish creation, being in that mirror, loving yourself, and knowing everything outside of you is to be loved because it's you. Even when it's dark, even when it seems a little dark. I don't know anyone who's in the feeling of vibration that I feel from you all. I don't know anyone that I've met this high that has not been really through something and can
True.
relate
True,
to something. You
true,
know what I'm saying?
true.
For real, for real. And I've met some pretty, really, really high vibrational people. And the higher they are, I feel them, the more I know, wow, if they were to express the things that they really have gone through with
True,
be
true.
shocked
True.
the ground away from under you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's just like that.
True.
But I'm
True.
grateful to be
That
in the
is,
where we
that is so true.
Mhm.
Because you, every time you go through something or you experience something on a level, you never come out the same, because that's how your vibration constantly rises.
Indeed, indeed. It constantly rises. I say without that, you have no, rise. It does not. Everything for me, that even the things that I thought were the worst things for me, always turned out to be the best.
Yes.
Every last one of
Yes.
them, like
Yes.
every
Yes.
last one of them. So
Mhm.
I'm grateful to tap into that because I use it. I use it, and then because I got some young, this is a good thing for me. This is what keeps me young. Okay, I got young adults. I got for real. I got young adults. I got young men and I got young women who I really look up to, and
Right.
they do some stuff like my boys. It's no way I could be fat around here. These boys are yoked up. They all got zero body fat, and they keep me going. They like I am inspired because I inspired them to start that way, and they see me doing what I have to do. But it's like I feel obligated, and it's not a chore when you love what you see when you're doing it with family. We
Right,
go running
right,
every
right.
other day with each other. We take the animals out. It's like people see us at the park, and it's never a time we go to the park that people are not like headstrong. They strung because we got a lot of dogs. It's a lot of us, and we all happy. The children running around. We all together.
Energy is good.
Yeah, the energy is wonderful. And we get a lot of questions. How who are y'all? We in a van. We're in a 15 passenger van. It's tinted and it has 11. It has a tag on it that says 11 stars. So it kind of makes people think that we are some, but we're not like that. But people like, and they see my children, my boys. They're big. They see them jump out and open doors. So they look like security in a sense, And then my empress and I, we get out, and then the sliding door pop out, and then 4, 8, 7 children jump out, but they're big children down to little children. And people just seem like in awe. And I hear a lot of elders say, man, that's what's happening, man. That's what we need. We need to see more families, man. Just
Right.
no matter. And I agree. I agree. I support. I have the overall intention of my heart, my will and command, what I've allowed for my energy to be invested on is being the example of family and being the example of the foundation of a family and being willing to be willing to bend and accept the fact that you co-created some people that might be smarter than you, they might have more connection than you, they might have all of that, and when you do that you can come to terms with that's powerful. That's
It
powerful.
is powerful. It is
and and
powerful.
and, and really realize that you co-created someone that agreed to be in your experience, and they potentially
Yes.
bring you more power because of how they
Right.
think.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a whole different level of
It
Yes.
things that
is.
I speak
Yes.
to people on that.
It
You
is.
know, the beautiful thing is that when we are self-aware, we
Yeah.
understand ourselves on a very deep level. And we understand that we are here to raise our consciousness.
Hmm.
That is why we chose to be here, is
Mhm.
to raise our consciousness. And the thing is that whatever experiences that we have to go through, we have to look at it as a learning lesson for us to raise our consciousness to a higher level. But
Indeed.
many times we stifle ourselves because we don't understand that part of us.
Mhm.
And because we don't understand that part of us, we hold ourselves back, not realizing that we are evolving energy. We
Mhm.
are evolving energy every single minute, second of the day. We are evolving. But when
Mhm.
we sit down and then we like you talk about unforgiveness, grudges, jealousy, all those are lower vibrations
Right.
that hold us back. And when we can understand that to a deep level, then we can understand ourselves more in depth and the reason and the purpose why we are here.
Indeed, I
That's
agree.
beautiful. That's beautiful, Lady K.
Thank
Beautiful,
you, Lady
beautiful.
J.
Indeed, indeed, that is beautiful. That and it's
Very
confirmed.
beautiful. Very, very
It's
beautiful.
extremely
Well, was well, well
beautiful.
said. Because sometimes, because someone may not be living in their higher self, and they're living at their lower self, and they complain, and they the way they feel, and scarcity, no abundance, and all that thing, because you are in the lower self. Talk to somebody who at this moment might be watching, or live, and or maybe catching us on the replay. Talk to somebody who is experiencing darkness, and the mindset is closed off, and they can't see beyond this, the moment that they're
Mhm.
experiencing. Talk to them, and help them to understand, well, you can move beyond that. Your circumstances does not define who you are.
Indeed.
So just speak to their subconscious tonight, and let them know. Talk. I'm be giving you the mic. Talk to them.
I feel that the moment we embrace the lowest parts of our experience it gives us the opportunity to get to the highest part of our overstanding of ourselves.
Beautiful.
It's the moment we embrace that, because it's hard as hell to embrace things that you
Yes.
go
Right.
through. So that is a fact. It's just is what it is. But at the same time, it's a decision. When you get fed up with things, it's not hard to make decisions. It's like by the time you get fed up, you raring to make that decision as soon as somebody give you the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It's just that we have to learn when to use that trigger and be able to evaluate, use the trigger. It don't have to wait for something when the trigger is necessary, or don't have to let something be to use it. It has to be where you know that that's your trigger, and it can only be used when you pull it, not because
Right.
somebody else brings you an experience and all of a sudden you upside down and you have to go backwards and forwards. It's really about that, coming to terms with, because it's like for me, as I said before, the lowest things that have happened to me have been the strongest things. They turn out to be really powerful for me. You know what I mean? I'm talking about I get to utilize the power once I come to the clarity of that. So it's giving me more power to utilize my power when I first see it coming now, because that's it. And that's what I suggest if I'm speaking to anyone, as I speak to my younger selves all the time. And this is literal, because I have my family here. That was a question. And one of these things I went to, what would you say to your younger self? And I was grateful, because I'm always speaking to my younger selves. So, but I'm saying to anyone who is dealing with themselves at all, it's like everything low, it can only be low for a period of time, because it has to go through its
True.
opposite end.
True.
Right.
True.
When you
Right.
ride that thing down, hey, ride it down, like ride it down. Go ahead and get over with it, and then realize that you can sit back. You can sit, and then I'm gonna be honest as well. It's going to take a decision and a knowing that, okay, this is what it is. You're gonna have to accept that and really come to terms with that before it will really resonate. Because if you put the sugar, or you put some icing on it, you might eat the icing and the cake don't taste right. You know what I'm
True.
saying?
True.
So it,
True.
it it might not work out that way. So it's really important to come to terms with, like, for real, the darkness and what that darkness is attempting to display within your experience, because it's only there to give you light. It's only there to give you the opportunity to be light. It's only there to give the experience to express gratitude too, because every low place gives you a high space. Like it truly
Oh, I
does.
like that.
It always has for me. It really has. And I'm grateful to be living it through. And then people who, it's like if I wanted to have evidence or receipts against someone, it's just I could tell them to play back a conversation that they speak every day to a loved one that they deal with every day. Because I learned that on my own. I started questioning myself about how I'm approaching, especially my Empress, because she's extremely smart, she's extremely aggressive, and she's a fire sign too. So some things she just not gonna turn down about, but some things she just automatically would. And I'm like, okay, I know it's a difference in how you see things and how we approach things, but what is the signing point to make some things that are important to me, you think that they're not as important as they should be, or the things that are not as important, you can respond to them easier. It's a vibrational connection. No one is excused from being as free as they want to be. It doesn't matter what you think. You know, you could think what you want and you could be, you know, guiding the ship, but you got to have somebody paying attention to the other parts of what is, so that thing don't sink for real. Because I was on a ship in the military, and I realized protocol is by the book, but it's some people on the outskirts is doing some things that are not protocol, but they making sure that protocol is being kept. You understand? If they didn't do that part, then what's going to happen to this part? So all of it's a part, all of it's important. So that's what it means to me. I'm using that as an analogy to take all parts of what you know you're responsible for and pull it all in and go ahead and be responsible, especially at the low point. The low point is a very, I mean, you know, it might sound crazy, but when you can get to the point where you see the low point coming, you can start laughing and feeling good about it, like for real, because you know you about to fly. You know you about to fly.
Right.
And if you've been going through some things, if you've already been going through some things, and you know, like it's a level to everything, and you know this is the tipping point. And once you get to the tipping point, you know it can't be nothing but because that's at that time you like tired of being tired, and you're just gonna be like the hell with it, whatever, however it turns out. And the minute you take that approach is when it turns out the way it's supposed to. And most times in your favor, and you realize, wow, that wasn't. I should have did this. I should.
Sure.
From my own experience,
that is absolutely right. It's so true. It's so true what you're saying there, Love Malik. You know, because what we as human beings have to really realize is that we gotta face the dark to see the light. You know, but we are scared of the dark because we are scared of ourselves. So we are scared to face the dark to get to see that light. Let's go to nature, right? There is night, there is day, which is darkness and light, right? So it's applicable to our lives. We gotta go through a period of stuff. If we really want to get to that light, we gotta go through that period of stuff. You know, and as we continue to evolve, as we continue to raise our level of our consciousness, we're going to continue to go through different stuff. And we have to, as I said before, we got to bring ourselves to that self-awareness. And as you said just now, just look at the experience and laugh about it. Bring it on. I'm ready for you. Because you know what? I've got all the modalities. I've got all the tools that I can use in this situation here to walk through it. But it's only when you are living at your highest self, then you can really understand and to be on that level, to use modalities to shift yourself through these situations and these experiences. Some people might say, oh, it's easy said and done. But you know what? You got to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself, and you've got to stand on a solid foundation. If your foundation is shaky, well, then you're going to become shaky. But you've got to really build that foundation strong. So when you're standing there, whenever a storm comes, you can able to ride that storm. And you know you're going to come out from that storm victorious because you got everything you need. We came here with everything we need for any storm.
Everything.
We are built like that. We came here with that. And you know what? We all sign up for all our experiences. We sign up for it.
Indeed.
Am I correct?
Indeed. I agree wholeheartedly. And I know that I signed up for mine because I look at all the contrasts and all the dips and dives because of the type of energy that I possess. This would be me. This would be me. No question. And it helped me take responsibility for me because I know, I would. The way I think without knowing this stuff is very, very out of the realm of whatever someone else thinks. So yeah, things I go through, yeah, this will be me throwing me in a bucket like that so I could do this. Yeah. And then you said something about the dark and the night. I just had a thought about, just a confirmation to share and to confirm what you were saying, because I watched Safari, right? I love the outdoors and stuff. But at night when they had them cameras out there, it's just as active as it is in the day. And as a matter of fact, at night is when you see who survives for the day. You see what I'm saying? So
True.
in the night, hey, in darkness, you better do what you got to do, and you better survive like you're supposed to. You better recognize what is so that the light can come, so that you can see the light. Because a lot of people diminish in the dark, a lot of people transition in the dark, and
True.
it's a whole nother thing with that.
Yes,
A
yes.
lot of things happen.
And the light is within us. We are the light.
We are the light from
Yeah.
whence we came, from the darkness from which we came. It's like we are the
We are
one.
the light.
Mm-hmm.
We are the light. But until we change our perspective about everything,
Mm-hmm.
that is only when you can see the light in you.
Until it
That's
clicks
only when.
on, till it
Right.
clicks on, till you get that situation to where you get locked in, and when you go through enough, either you chosen for it or something chose something against you. You know what I'm saying? And then once you get to the point where you realize, okay, it really can't be against me because I'm surviving these things.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? I'm going through this, but I'm surviving. And I know chosen. Some are stubborn as hell. Like, some of us really go through some stuff. We have a back to back to back. Like, I don't know if y'all have seen this movie called Bruce Almighty, but on this movie,
Yeah.
you saw when he was asked, "Give me a sign, God," and the people on the truck was like, "Don't go this way. Stop, stop going." He was like, "Give me." He picked up, and he even picked up the little thing, the little bracelet that the little child had gave him, and was like praying to it and everything. Then he ended up in the hospital in a coma, coming out. Like, what sign do you need, bro? Like, okay, so that's really like that. People are really living that in real time with different scenarios, but it's like life scenarios. Like they're dealing with their
Yes.
children like that. There's so
Yes.
many people in default. Because I've become conscious, I realize that I'm so grateful that I'm not in default like I was, or like everybody has been maybe at one point or another for one thing or another. Because I see and I deal with people who come to me about assisting with their relationship with their child when they hate themselves. I'm like, bro, like, okay, your child can't like you if you don't like you.
True. True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
First thing, like you said, like I love your introduction when you were saying, because it's to the core of, man, love yourself. Love yourself if you don't like yourself. You know what I'm saying? Figure that out, because we special. We special. When you get to looking at yourself enough, you're gonna see some special traits.
Core.
You're gonna see some special traits, and they're gonna kick in with you. And then depending on how you feel about it, if somebody when you do that, this is what I noticed. When I learned to do that is when, and I'm not looking for an accolade to make me feel better, but when people recognize you, it makes you feel better. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're going through something, you're moving through, and you might be feeling some kind of way, and they say, "Hey, man, something about you, or you look good today, girls." Whatever the situation is, that
Right.
might
Right.
be something that really assists. They don't know what you might be thinking. It could be something totally
True.
dealing with that, a personal thing. It could be something dealing with something that's really, really, really far or not. But whatever it is, when somebody does something to shift a moment of low
True.
vibration, it's
Yeah.
doing a big deal. That's a big, big deal.
It is. It is a big deal. It is
Mhm.
such a big deal because when you can get that shift quickly, I mean, it changes everything. Everything.
Mhm.
And that is how we raise the level of vibration, whether it's in a room, whether it's in a conversation, wherever we may be.
Mhm.
When we enter space, what are we shifting?
Indeed.
True.
What are we shifting? Are we leaving that space in a higher vibration than we enter? What are we shifting? You know? And so much was said in this discussion tonight. But talk to someone who might be saying, okay, I want to, because I know one of the words you use a lot tonight. You talk about vibrational escrow. And what is that? Somebody may say, you're talking about vibrational escrow. What is it? So talk to us about that.
Okay, so as the I am, as the creator, and you being, you knowing that you are the creator, everything that you think that you could potentially intend, command, will, or even think that you want, when you think about it, it goes into the ether as a command, and it is there. It is yours. So if it's a physical thing, it's really there somewhere in the quantum. In one of your fields, it's physical in one of your quantum fields that you are physically in that quantum field. The minute you align vibrationally in the field that you are in, the knowing that, yeah, I am a creator. I do feel, I know I can have that, and I've already imagined it. Yeah, it's in vibrational escrow. That is like the vibration of things created that we already have access to. But if we want them in this quantum, we just have to align. And accepting is aligning, like really realizing and knowing that I did that. That's me. I'm gonna see that in a minute, and then leaving it alone. Knowing, not sitting there like, man, I don't know if that's gonna happen. I can see me. I can see me in one of them, but no, you have to see you in one of them. Not like I can see me, but you imagine yourself. If you imagine yourself there, if you've seen a glimpse of yourself anywhere, and it's like you're there. You're there in the field. You're there in the field. How you connect to it in this field is totally going to be up to you. You know what I'm saying? And if you're struggling because you think you can and you can't, it's just going to be a constant, anxiety feeling for you, because in source, you know you can. The source knows you can. It's just that you have to break the barrier and allow, the flow to come through. Because it's not anything we're creating in speech or whatever that we're not getting. That's low and high vibration.
Right. Wow. You have to allow it to come true, and you cannot put up any kind of resistance.
Indeed.
Right?
Indeed.
It has to flow.
Mm-hmm.
But putting up resistance. Sorry.
No, you go, Lady K.
Putting up resistance in one is one thing too, and another thing, people worry about how it's gonna happen.
None of you don't have to concern.
Right.
How it's gonna happen is none of your business.
None whatsoever.
Absolutely none of your business.
Yeah.
Enjoy putting it there and watch it unfold.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No escrow, you claimed it. You didn't say how I was going to get it. You just claimed it. And that's the creation. You claimed it. It's mine. I intend to, I will and command. I even have gotten off of intending because I don't want for anything, because I know as the I am, it's impossible for me to want, confirming, knowing that I am. And in the present, knowing, I know everything that I need to know, because I do know that all is well. When anything comes up, first thing you know is you got to figure it out. So if you want to go to basics, you know everything, because the first thing you know is you got to figure out everything that comes across. How you deal with it is going to be how you get the return from it. But one thing you must know is how you deal with it, you get the return from it. I get to channel it in and take it as peace instead of something I got to park from, run from, or something. I'm gonna take it in like, oh, okay, I see. Oh, okay. If it's an opportunity for me to flip it, like I said, I thought when somebody ready to argue, this is a good one for me, because I didn't know how to do this when I was younger. Somebody pissed off and they talking crazy, throw something in there that's funny. It just throws everything off.
Yeah, you shift everything.
Even when they piss with you, they like out of hand. This is like, go on somewhere, man, with that. Because you don't have no comeback. You're just like, I see that love thing, don't it? I'll be like, man, go on, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, man. You know what I'm saying? It breaks it down, no matter how it has to happen, because we're dangerous to each other. The other side is dangerous to each other. Before you know it, people pulling each other's hair, people pulling guns out on each other, people doing all kind of stuff, because just a misinforming of energy that's really a love vibration that's misguided. It's misinformed. Because everything is a love vibration. It's just how you feel it. Yeah, it seems like that person is being harmful to you. That person is crying out and giving you the opportunity to show some love so they can receive it. It's an opportunity to do something pertaining to love one way or another. Even if you have to discipline somebody, because I realize we're in 3D. This is a hands-on thing. Whoopings build characters. Like, you go jump out there and you get whooped and you live through it, you start respecting things. Like, that's just what it is. I mean, I'm a man. I've had to go through my own experiences. We all have to live up to what we attract, what we summon, what we manifest. And believe me, we're doing it on our own with an agreement. With the agreement that we would know what to do, and you got to deal with it. Go with the flow.
Wow. This was such an enriching conversation, you know. You got to be a returning guest.
Yeah.
I want to anytime. Anytime, you know? Anytime you would have me, I would show
Thank
up.
You.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you all. It's our love, appreciation, gratitude, and power. And you know that we're here to raise the vibration, the collective. Yes. I want to thank everyone who comes in contact with you all, especially because the vibe is high, but throughout this whole experience with this whole meeting and the connection of things that we have to do from here forward, because, you know, it's a now thing. It's a now thing. You know what I'm saying? It's an always now thing. So I'm present here now for you every time you can reach out to me. So please do. And I'm active. I choose to, I intend to, I will to, and I command and allow others to recognize the fact that I'm a force to be reckoned with in the love department. And we're going to make sure that we show up and bring it. You know what I'm saying? Bring it, show it, share it, be it, you know, promote it, raise it. Do everything that's got something to do with making sure it goes across the way it's supposed to go.
Yes, absolutely. We totally agree with you, you know, because the thing is that we are here to be of service, you know, and being of service is such a special thing that you can do. It's so special. Yeah. And you learn from your experiences, and you use those experiences to help others. That is why we go through all of these experiences. It's to help someone else. You know, it's an experience to elevate you and to elevate someone else as well. Because sometimes when you're going through an experience, you don't even realize someone is watching at you, how you're handling this experience, you know, and it helps them as an individual as well. That whatever the experiences they're going to go through, they can lean into what you're going through and say, you know, I can do it myself. So whenever you go through these experiences, you're giving someone else strength.
Indeed.
You're giving someone else strength that they can stand up and they can say, yeah, I can do this too, you know. So that is why whatever we do, someone else is watching at us. Someone else is looking at you. So when you leave this space this evening, just know that whatever is inside, the light is there, and the light is here to clear the darkness. You are that light. You are that golden light that is here to clear the darkness. And you can do it. Surrender. Just surrender. And know to yourself that you have that inner power. You have that inner power within you. And you can activate it at any time. Anytime you can activate that power. And when you activate that power, you will start to see some amazing things start to unfold in your life. And many times we'll ask ourselves, why we wait so long? But you know what? Everything is divine. There is no rush to nothing. There is absolutely no rush to nothing. We have to go through the experiences to understand what we are going through. Because many times people want to rush through things. You cannot rush the experience. You got to take your time, go through the experiences to learn from the experience. Because whatever door that you're about to walk into, if you don't understand the experience at the present moment, you're not fit and you're not ready yet to go through that next phase of your life. So you have to understand what's happening now and do not curse the experience. Welcome the experience and learn from the experience, because the experience is going to teach you. It's going to give you all the tools that you necessary tools that you need to go beyond that door that is waiting to be opened. You got to open the door. It's only you can do it. You got a choice to open that door to the next phase of your life. And you know, the thing is, many times we ask for things, you know, but when you're asking for something, you got to prepare yourself mentally what is going to come along with it. Because many times we don't know what is going to come along mentally for what we're asking for. You may be asking for a new job, you know, you're praying for a new job. But one day your boss might come in and say, you know what, you're no longer working here. But you got to remember, you've been asking for a new job. So that transition period, we all have to understand that transition period, and we have to understand what we are asking for. Always remember, whatever comes out from here, whatever you decide to speak, whatever you decide to have in your subconscious mind, that is what you're going to attract to yourself. So we always have to be conscious and be careful what we are saying and what we are saying to ourselves. Each and every single day, we got to be vigilant about what comes out from our lips and our thoughts. It is super important. Lady J?
Indeed, most important.
Right.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's truly awesome. And how we moving intentionally is super important. Because when you wanna live from your higher self and elevate and move from that lower self and move and walk and step into that level of vibration of highness. We talk about frequency. We talk about the vibrational escrow. What are you putting in there?
True.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What
What
do you want to
are you
align to?
putting
Yeah.
in there?
Yeah. What do you want to align to? What do you have? What have you created in alignment to that? Because it's very important. It's yours.
Yes.
Yeah. So you listening to us tonight in and listening to Love King Malik, in you're moving forward from this moment, new week, new month,
New
2025,
you.
New
and
you.
you're moving forward. What are you putting into your vibrational escrow? And what are you aligning up with? And are you allowing it when you put that in? Are you worrying about it? Or are you just letting it flow? Are you putting up any kind of resistance? Because that is super important. And we just want to say thank you so much for
Yes.
sharing this space with us tonight, because you
Yeah.
have there was growth and expansion in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Great insight, new perspectives, how we should look at things through a different lens, how we can rewrite the narrative. Forgiveness is so important, for someone to forgive themselves what you've done wrong, might have been messy, but today's a new day and you can rewrite that. And how you decide to choose to move forward from this moment, it's on you. No more excuses, no more complaining. You can change it up, because you have this choice to decide, who do I want to become? What level what do I want to function at living life? How do I walk? Where's my vibration? Level of frequency, the level of energy that you exchange in spaces, one on one, groups, whatever it is. Do you change that environment for the good? Do you create that shift in the moment that you have an encounter with others? You stepping in your power, you showing yourself grace. Are you accepting things when it happened? And how are you looking at it to move forward? Yes, you might be in darkness. Yes, you might be in a low place tonight as you're watching live or replay. But no, darkness change into light. Remind yourself that you are special. Remind yourself that you are enough. Look yourself in the mirror and talk to yourself and recite your I am. Because when what goes after your I am is super important. Move into the season of abundance because you can attract that. Move away from limitation and attract all the goodness because you want to live the life of fullness. You want to live the life that you desire, that you can move on that trajectory and attain everything that you're going forward for. Know who you are. Practice self love, self care. Go on that journey of self discovery. Lean into your inner wisdom, that intuition. Love King Malik spoke about the sense of knowing, just a sense of knowing, self assured, and know that all is well. Those are good words. Those are words to remind ourselves that no matter what we may be going through, it might be tumultuous, it might be a situation we think we can't handle, but ultimate, remind yourself, all will be well because you're connected to Source. You are the creator. Tap in. You have the level of strength. Embrace that courage, that determination, and tap into that because you are unique. You got that special gift.
Mhm.
And so tonight, we just want to remind you, you got what it takes. And as you move through 2025 and beyond, embrace that. Know who you are. Be self assured. Believe in yourself. Your circumstances does not define who you are. You might be coming from a low place, but you can rise. And you
Mhm.
rise because when you rise, you got a new sense of purpose,
Mhm.
a new sense of purpose and new discovery. And you're not starting over because you're starting with greater insights, new perspectives, and you can launch and move forward. Continue to take that step, small increments, and it builds up over a period of time so you can attain everything that you're going after because you're worth it. You deserve it. Yes, you do. So, love, King Malik, we are so honored and so blessed to have you in this space to raise the level of vibration with quantum energy and every single thing that you spoke about in this moment tonight. Thank you. And
Thank
thanks
you.
to the viewers as well.
Thank you again. Thank you so much for everyone who's tuned in. Thank you for the love and appreciation. Thank you for everything. Thank you for Source. Thank you for the ability to be connected. All is well.
All
Yes.
is well.
Yes. And thanks again, Love King Malik, for being here because you really enriched the space this evening. You help the viewers to understand that it takes all of you to
Mhm.
really shift your life. It's all of you. And it starts with I am. That is what it starts with. I am. And you help us to understand whatever we deposit into the extra, that is what we're going to get out back from it. And we are creators and we are here to create. And whatever you decide to create, it's all on you.
Indeed.
You have that choice to create your narrative. You have that choice to create your script. It's all on you. And whatever you may be going through at this point in time, once you could change your mindset and look at it in a positive way, you will start to see things changing in your life. If it's healing, once you start to look at it in a positive way, you'll start to see healing start to take place. It's all depend on your mindset. It's just your mindset, you know. And we are here to let you know that you can do it. That is why every week we come here is to give you the tools that you need in order to shift yourself. And if you know anyone who could benefit from this podcast this evening, just share us out and encourage them to subscribe. And if this is the first time that you're joining us, we want to welcome you to this space. And we do hope that you take away something from this podcast this evening and that you could share it with someone else. And don't forget to subscribe as well. And to the listeners, thank you so much for listening to us this evening. We value your time. We love your comments. We read all of your comments. And thank you so much for coming into this space of enrichment of mind, body, and soul. Whenever you leave here, you'll never leave the same. You will never leave the same, because this space here is very transformative. It is very therapeutic. It's here to help you as an individual to do some introspection and see exactly where your life is heading. And if you don't like where it's going, you can say at this present moment to yourself, I am going to change what I'm depositing in my extra. So it's all on you. Thank you once again, Love King Malik, for being here. And to the listeners, thank you once again. Have a fabulous week. We're sending you love. We're sending you blessings. We are sending you abundance. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Right.